Okay, I'm back on with my phone. So what am I recording here, huh? You know what I'm recording. Last video I had to take down because I did show some personal info. What I'm trying to say here, I cannot predict how the Switch 2 is going to do under the tariffs. The tariffs, I think they would do great. With the tariffs, I do think it will be even more expensive. But just that I'm concerned about. It's also the PS5 Pro. Plus, the PS5 is virtually the same price as the one bundled with the game. So I'm going to have to make a few, I'm going to have to tell you people a few predictions on what's going to happen with these tariffs.
All the dead people and all that stuff? Yeah.
No, that was a couple weeks ago.
Are you ready for why I think you're going to have to realize?
They've got a graph.
You know why I think this is going to be a bad thing? Are you ready?
It's 2 million a year.
I think not just video games, but anime could be at maybe movies. Because those 4K Blu-rays are produced in Mexico are going to be affected by these tariffs. You know, granted, movie tickets won't be affected, but if Mexico is the one producing these 4K Blu-ray movies, they might get a small tariff. Japan's going to get a very large tariff, trust me. Your anime prices are going to go up. The reason why I'm mentioning that, even though I wouldn't have mentioned it in the past, the anime is going mainstream right now. And not only that, but yes. Even worse, the anime going mainstream is the fact that I have to mention it now. When in the past, in the 2010s and 2000s, I could just ignore its existence. Not even mention it. And I did do that in the 2010s and 2000s. Because not only did my mom restrict me from watching anime or reading manga back in the day, due to its objective nature, and due to its edgy, spiky art style, and its incredibly violent attitude with sexual stuff. But I think...
And then they've got the other 20 billion. So there's, I mean,
are you ready for this?
Of money.
$2 billion to do what?
Which are non-profit.
I think... And I did not want to vote for Trump, and I didn't. I didn't want to vote for Harris either. Because she was a bit young, but I do think she was a better choice. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for anyways. I'm just going to blanket out say, people who voted for Trump, do you think these tariffs are going to be good? No. No, they're not. Your gaming graphics card prices, motherboards and all that will go up. Your laptops will go up. Your PlayStations will go up. Don't think this won't affect the ps6 and ps5 Pro now. I am going to have to blame Trump supporters on this one. Because they did not look up what a tariff was. Granted, I didn't know what it was back in the day, but I did know Project 2025 was bad. But if without 2025, instead we have these tariffs, this is worse. And this is why I think we're going to be screwed as a nation budgetly for a while. A lot of people are just going to have to focus on food and what they already have. They're not going to have the money to afford games and systems right now. It doesn't matter how good the next gen is. Switch 2, PSP3, Steam Deck 2 with the Steam console, PlayStation 5 Pro, PS6 with 2027. It doesn't matter how good the I might just have to choose those two. I might just have to get those two systems. I don't know how I'm gonna get those now. On top of that, I also am going to say this. I also don't think these tariffs are going to be good for the nation. I think they're going to hurt the nation. They're going to literally turn the nation into a government of tariffs now. Its own people are tariffed. Canada's lucky because it's Canada. Do not become the 51st state right now, Canada. Do not even let. As long as Trump's in charge, do not. I don't think you should, ever. It's a lot like how I would refuse to be a Disney fan right now, after what they did to Star Wars. And why I just genuinely don't like that company. Genuinely. And why I will not go to the Monsters Inc. if I have to go. Because I do not think that will be a safe park. I think it will be a dangerous park. Priced. And especially with these tariffs, man. I don't think I'll be able to afford a Disney World trip. At all. It is a bad place right now. It's become the saddest place on Earth. Redubbed it from the happiest place on Earth to the magical place on Earth because they're morphing into a completely different company now. But I'll talk about why I'm going to Epic Universe instead with my dad. Staying at the Grand Helios Hotel for $300 a night instead of spending $100 a night on the cheapest Disney hotel. I'd rather spend $300 a night on the most luxurious Universal hotel. Universal's a better deal anyways. Since that Mario Land may have improved the quality of the How to Train Your Dragon Land, Monsters Land, and the Wizarding World Land. I think a lot of the white people, including myself, be fleeing working for Disney, have been fired or laid off, meaning they have to find. The real talent needs to find better places to go. I don't like saying that, but it's true. It's very true. I think you're ultimately going to be screwed right now. I think it's not just the worst time to be a gamer, you say? Ha! In America, it's the worst time to be anything. Anime fan because you have to get tariffed now. Movie fan because we're dealing with studio BS and all this stuff. We're talking music fan because you don't know how to make music. Being a musician today would mean you have to sell your soul to Satan. 99% of the time. I think the new artist in Linkin Park got lucky. Yeah. Why I'm a little disappointed. I think what needs to happen is we need to basically protest against Trump. Now, I'm not a Democrat or Republican because this is why I treat things like House of Cards, and chess. Vote and choose. I chose Kamala because I thought, you know what? Trump would be too bad for the nation. Trump would be too bad for the nation right now. He's also the same age Biden was when he got first in, so I was right. I voted for Trump in 2020 because I thought, let's just get his last 4 years over with instead of him coming back to bite us. Making even worse 4 final years. Like an actual president back in the day. So if I was able to vote back then, I would vote Harris. actually. For 2020, if I was actually had a good conscience back then, I would have voted for Obama. Got in the way, actually made me check off the wrong box. Used my glasses and I actually tried being very clear to make sure that didn't happen with Kamala. Not only show their movies, their place, they never let it go, and their own mention song. Never let it go. I mean, don't mention the song. And they'd be hard on the employees too, brainwashing them. There would be some films that wouldn't show there. And granted, are you ready for this? Employees would be screwed over by hard work conditions. Buying AMC for the time being is the long game play. He's gonna get jailed or mogged eventually, or if things come to worse, he ends up being the false prophet, the Antichrist. And then somebody else will take over his business assets. Anyone to buy anything right now. And if you want, and that means streaming is gonna skyrocket. And this is not gonna be good. From anywhere, from any retro game store if you want. Hold on, Hayes, let me finish this video. I'm just saying, people, you cannot. I am a centrist at heart. I do not vote. I do not. Politics like a game of cards or a game of chess, basically, to get a better outcome. Long term, I do not think Amazon owning AMC would be good. Movie companies would pull out. And yes, employees would be worked to death. Neither long term or short term. It would be good for Disney to buy AMC. You could start seeing other movie companies having to make their own theater. Possibly porn theaters prop up. And that would be gross and disgusting. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. You must be a real creep if you think that's okay. This is why I think, I hate giving it to him. I had to, for the time being, until after he gets exposed and jailed or mogged. He will have to give his business assets to me. All of his assets. Or somebody I trust, or somebody better. One of the three is gonna happen. Anyways, see ya. Bye.